President Trump, as I come back to you for a follow-up, the question was, will you accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins?
Just to finish what he said.
No, that's not acceptable.
Russia, they took a
I
lot
feel
of land
bad
from
for
Bush.
Joe, but he's
They
standing
took a
there
lot of land from
and
Obama
taking
and
all
Biden.
this bad
They took no land,
words
nothing from Trump.
said by
Nothing.
Trump
He knew not to do it. He's
towards
not going to play games with me. He
our
knew that. He
President
got along with him
Biden.
very well, but he knew not to play games. He
Come on,
took nothing
America.
from me.
We're better than
And
this.
now he's going to take the whole thing.
We're better
from
than this.
This man right here. That's a war that should have never started.
Look
It
at
would have
Joe
never
Biden.
started ever.
He
with me.
is so
And he's
shocked.
going to take Ukraine.
How could someone say
And,
bad
you know,
things
you
like
asked me a
this?
question before,
That's
would
not
you do
us
this?
Americans.
He's got us in such a
We
bad
pick
position
people up,
right now
make
with,
their lives
with
better,
Ukraine and Russia.
didn't we?
Because Ukraine's not winning that war. He said, I will never settle until such time. They're running out of people. They're running out of soldiers.
Look at Joe
They've
Biden.
lost
He's
so many
shocked
people.
that
It's
anyone
so
could say
sad.
such words.
They've lost so many people, and they've lost those gorgeous cities with the
can
golden
bet
domes that are 1,000 years
People
old.
will be doing
all
better
because of him
with
and
me
stupid
as
decisions.
president.
Russia would
I
have
could
never
be president
attacked.
for the Democrats,
President Trump,
or I
the
could be a
question was,
president
will you
for the
accept the
Republicans.
results of the election, regardless of who wins? Yes or no, please.
If it's a fair and legal and good election, absolutely. I would have much rather accepted these, but the fraud and everything else was ridiculous. And if you want, we'll have a news conference on it in a week, or we'll have another one of these in a week. But I will
This man
absolutely, there's nothing I'd
has
rather
been
do.
convicted.
It would be much
He's a
easier for
felon.
me to do that.
Felons are not allowed
Then
to
I'm
vote.
running again. I wasn't really going to run
He needs to
until I
go
saw the
to
horrible
prison
job he did.
just like
He's
everybody
destroying
else.
our country. I would be very
You gotta
happy
follow
to
the
be
rules and
someplace else, in a
regulations.
nice location
Not
someplace.
suffer the
And again,
consequences.
no indictments,
Let
no
me
political
come into the
opponents,
picture. Let me help
because
you
it's the only
people.
way he thinks he
Let
can
me
win.
help you
But
people
unfortunately,
in
it's
all
driven up
aspects of life.
driven up
In
to
all
a high
aspects.
level, because the people understand.
I will help you, and I have been helping people for the last 20 years.
Let's see, you're a whiner. When you lost the first time, you continued, you appealed and appealed to courts all
Joe
across the
Biden's
country.
correct
Not
in what
one
he says.
single court in America said any of your claims had any merit, state or local, none. But you continue to provoke this lie about somehow there was all this misrepresentation, all this stealing. There is no evidence of that at all. And I tell you what, I doubt whether you'll accept it because you're such a whiner. The idea if you lose again, you accepted anything, you can't stand loss. Something snapped in you when you lost the last time.
We'll be right back.
All I can say about that is,
CNN
wow.
presidential debate, live from Georgia.
People, let me be your leader. I could get us through. I could get us through. I could get us through the future. Many politicians write to me, asking me for their help and ideas and thoughts. Well, I haven't been given my ideas and thoughts. I didn't have any. I was watching the news just like everybody else. And then in time, I become aware and think about it, pray on it, to make the right decision what to do. And that's what I would do for you. It's like Roe versus Wade. I think it was the Republicans. Just split it out. No more abortion. They didn't go to they didn't go to doctors. You keep it quiet. You keep it in-house. Talk to doctors. Discuss. Set up guidelines according to the doctors. They are the medical professionals. And President Biden understands this, and President Trump went ahead to allow abortion to take place because he wants your vote. And if he says yes, and all the people like him and listen to him, he doesn't care what happens to you. I'm talking about Trump, former President Trump. I've been wanting to be president for years. And now it's my time. Republicans, I could be your president. You choose Donald Trump because there's nobody else to be able to do the work that needs to be done. Republicans, your Senate, your Congress, are losing it. They're losing but I can help you to make better decisions on what to choose for a change in our country, a legal change. I'm here for you, not the rich people. I'm here for the average person, and that's why, I've been thinking about what I'm going to do in the future. But right now, my campaign website is working fine for presidential. You can hear what I say. I'm on videos with YouTube. I have about 200 videos on YouTube. Please review them, and you'll give your my ideas and thoughts about all that happens every day and always, every day and all the time. I did this. I've had 400 shows that I produced, and I did it with everyone in mind. I didn't tell any other person bad, and if I did say, it would be great constructing criticism to make all of us better. That rhetoric that former President Trump does, he really believes in that. That's the talking of a 9th grader, a student, a young person.
Determined by a coin toss. We're going to begin with you, President Biden. You have 2 minutes.
We've made significant progress from the debacle that was left by President Trump in his last term. We find ourselves in a situation where, number one, we have to make sure that we have a fair tax system. I ask anyone out there in the audience, or anyone out watching this debate, do you think the tax system is fair? The fact is, that I said, nobody making under $400,000 had a single penny increase in their taxes, and will not. And if I'm reelected, that'll be the case again. But this guy has increased your taxes because of the deficit, number one. He's increased inflation because of the debacle he left after the way he handled the pandemic. And he finds himself in a position where he now wants to tax you more by putting a 10% tariff on everything that comes in the United States of America. What I did, for example, he wants to get rid of the ability of Medicare for us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies. Well, guess what? We got it down to $35 per insulin instead of $400. No more than $2,000 for every senior, no matter how much prescription they need. You know what that did? That reduced the federal debt by $160 billion over 10 years because the government doesn't have to pay the exorbitant prices. I'm going to make that available to every senior all along. It's happening now, and everybody in America. He wants to get rid of that. I'm going to make sure that we have child care. We're going to significantly increase the credit people have for child care. We're going to make sure we do something about what we're doing on lead pipes and all the things that are causing health problems for people across the country. We're going to continue to fight to bring down inflation and give people a break.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, you now have 2 minutes.
That sounds like a man who is very coherent, aware of his thinking.
He said we want to do
giving
this,
out
we want to do
information.
that, we want to get rid of this tax, that tax.
Giving out information
But he doesn't do
coherently.
anything.
He doesn't have any problem with his
doesn't make our
cognitive
country
therapy,
unsafe by allowing millions and millions of
exercises
people
and
to fall in.
programs to
Our
keep them
military
healthy.
doesn't respect him. We look like fools in Afghanistan. We didn't stop Israel. It was such a horrible thing that would have never happened. It should have never happened. Iran was broke. Anybody that did business with Iran, including China, they couldn't do business with the United States. They all passed. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah, for terror, no money whatsoever. Again, Ukraine should have never happened. He talks about all this stuff, but he didn't do it. For 3.5 years, we're living in hell. We have the Palestinians and we have everybody else rioting all over the place. You talk about Charlottesville. This is 100 times Charlottesville, 1,000 times. The whole country is exploding because of you, because they don't respect you, and they have to respect their president, and they don't respect you throughout the world. What we did was incredible. We rebuilt the military. We got the largest tax cut in history, the largest regulation cut in history. The reason he's got jobs is because I cut the regulations and gave jobs. But he's putting a lot of those regulations back on. All of the things that we've done, nobody's never seen anything like. Even from a medical standpoint, rectify, where we can try space-age materials instead of going to Asia or going to Europe and trying to get, when you're terminally ill, now you can go and you can get something. You sign a document. They've been trying to get it for 42 years. But you know what we did for the military was incredible. Choice for our soldiers, where our soldiers, instead of waiting for 3 months to see a doctor, can go out and get themselves fixed up and readied up and take care of themselves, and they're living. And that's why I had the highest approval rating in the history of the VA. So all of these things, we're in a failing nation, but it's not going to be failing anymore. We're going to make it great again.
Thank you, former President Trump, President Biden. Stay with us because we have full analysis of this debate. Anderson Cooper and Aaron Burnett starts now on CNN.
Well, what President Biden says, he's thinking clearly. His expression was like, I can't believe he's saying these things. He's just making things up. I told you some of my ideas. I want to tell you about Palestinians. I want to tell you about Palestinians. They take over other countries and they incorporate their faith. They pray 5 times a day, and they're going to push us to have their type of faith. And then, I'm getting a little tired here, folks. The Palestinians, they're in our country. And I want to tell you what Israel and Palestinians, they live close by borders. And when they did activities, like such as a party or a wedding, you can't discriminate against you can't determine who's Palestinian and who is not. That Palestinian could be in that group. You never heard this. I know this because my doctor was Jewish and he'd go over to Israel many times to help keep them safe. So with that, what they did was they would blow up, a person would go in and blow up a terrorist attack, and it's Palestinian against the Israelites. That's how they live. Israel didn't start that war. Hamas did. Diplomatic, we look at all the people who are held captured. I will get them out. I'll sit down and talk with them and negotiate the problem. But remember, Palestinians are coming into this country, Muslims. I agree with, that's the only thing I agree with is Trump. Leave them. They don't have papers to be here, send them back to Afghanistan. That, in my eye, is the way of the Americans. Take away the bad. We don't have to have bad countries. We don't have to have bad in our country. All we want is good people to come in and help us. Well, vote for me. Put my name on the ballot. Notice the way I spell my name. K-A-R-Y-N-N. Krill. K-R-I-L-L. Weinstein. W-E-I-N. S-T-E-I-N. I am here for you.